Good morning, welcome back to the My Pro Golfer channel. Today we are continuing our series called Care for the Course. And today we're going to showcase one of Summerfield Crossing's biggest assets, the short game area, and how you can take care of it and make it as pristine as it is today when you come out and practice here. So we're heading up here to the short game area to get started on some practice and really showcase how to strike shots around the short game area to make sure that the majority of your practice is working hard to make the turf conditions and your shot shapes and how to hit shots as optimal as possible. But I want to showcase behind me, if you can see, this is my teaching tee over here on the right side, and our maintenance team at Summerfield is every day blowing out the divots, re-sanding it, and doing the things that they need to do. And it's easy over here for them to do that because of the ropes and it's one area to hit. But on the short game area, there's a ton of space and a lot of detail work has to go into it that doesn't always get done because of the size of the staff here. So what can we do as people that are going to be coming here and practicing and playing, as patrons, so to speak, of the facility? I'm going to take you through some of those today. Hey, thanks for watching today's episode. Here at My Pro Golfer, you know we like to keep things simple. And today, I've got a special gift for you to help you never miss a 5-foot putt again. Click the link below and download today. So the first thing you can do to simplify it is very easy. One, it's just follow the rules. One of the things that they've done a really good job up here at Summerfield is made it members only, which means you have to be investing at least $59 here to get out on this facility. And I know it doesn't always get utilized that way. I know some people sneak on and things like that, but they've got a good system to try to do the best they can to make sure that the facilities here are taken care of. And just simply, if you are a member here, you grab one of these sand bottles. You can notice down here by the divot patterns that a lot of the divots are happening right here. Here's a lot of divots in one area and really deep. We're going to get into that a little bit, but just make sure that when you're the player that's coming here and hitting in this area really close to the ropes, that you're taking the sand bottle and filling those divots in, just like our maintenance team out here by my teaching tee. That, following the rules that they have, are pretty much the #1 thing you can do as a patron here to have success on this short game area and any short game area that you may be on. All right, so why am I standing here? This is step 2, and it's placement of where you practice. If you notice behind me, I would say 90% of the divot patterns happen between myself and about 20 yards this way. And what it is it's convenience. You come here, you walk through that entryway, you walk through that entryway, and almost everybody hits right here. The other piece of the puzzle is the shade. In the evening, it gets still pretty warm out here, and all these trees produce shade. So at night, you'll see 7, 8, 9, 10 people here hitting in the same area and doing it poorly. I don't know if you could see from there, but there are some very deep divots over here hitting 40, 50-yard shots. I'm going to teach you today how to shallow that club out and not hit such strikingly deep divots. There's a misnomer on television that you got to really compress down on it to hit the ball with spin. Well, yes, but how to do that is not these deep gougy divots that you have, because here we play on paspalum. It's a very dense turf. For you to take that deep a divot means you're coming way too steep, and we'll get into that as we continue this segment on Care for the Course short game area. All right, so fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at this situation, we have come across my least favorite look on the short game area. We've got these really deep divots, and you can see by the turf, I mean, we're talking massive size. And it wouldn't be like ridiculous to see this if it wasn't so darn close to the green. I mean, we're talking like little pitch shots type stuff here. So somebody either has extremely poor technique around the short game area, or they just don't care. And the reason why I think it's the first part is that, you know, if it was a child or a kid that's just smacking things around, they generally don't take the time to bring a ball and set it behind the divot. That's more of a PGA Tour style, good practice. Or if you follow our range and care for the course video series, you know how I want people to hit balls behind the divot so that it makes it. And there are a couple divots directly behind the balls and similarly deep. Now, what could have happened is like, whoa, I'm really deep in these three, and they shallowed it out a little bit. But even then, I mean, it's just a really, really poor pattern. So today, I'm going to train you all to get rid of this shot and utilize the bounce of the club, which is what everybody on TV does, because this is going to be a really hard shot to control. Because in order to hit this shot, I have to come in so deep that I've got to actually hit down on the ball and then up on it. You see how my elbow goes, and exit. So it would look like this in order to make that divot. Pretty much the worst possible shot you can make. So as we see our man out there taking care of the turf, let's talk about what to do. So we just saw what not to do. We don't want to bring that club in steep, hit the big chunk, and lift it out. We want to shallow the club out. And so one of the things you could do is just kind of utilize the understanding of the turf. We put all 4 balls in the divot, and we just want to feel like we're just going to touch the top of the golf ball. And listen to that sound. That's all you need. And with the right club, I could send this basically completely across the green. So if I'm going to get myself set up to shallow out this shot, you'll notice that with probably the same level swing, I've hit a chip shot to the middle of the green, which for most people is fantastic. And what we want to do is, instead of feeling the club go up and down, not letting the handle get steep, we want to let the handle lead and let that club lag behind you and make this sound. You could do this in your home, on carpet, in your yard. If you can make this sound, ooh, listen to that. Oh man, that sounds like television. Hear it? Work on that sound today. Help us save our short game areas. All right, as you know, pretty much all of my instruction comes from what I watch on television. So I just kind of get an eye. I got rid of the teaching manual a long time ago, and I really focus on what are the PGA Tour players doing that can help me with my game and help my students with their game. And so you'll notice that I've only got a few balls here, and there's yellow balls kind of all over the place. I try to utilize the golf balls that I play with. So when I'm out here chipping, I've cleared the green with this machine. All you're going to do when they have these machines here is just lift it up, set it. It's got rollers on it. You want to be able to leave the conditions of the course like you found them. So take the time to push some balls off. Think about your fellow man and woman on this next set. Get those balls down and in a similar place so that they can come and chip with them and not have to worry about all the mess you just made on the short game area. One way to keep the mess from happening is to do what the PGA Tour players and the LPGA Tour players do. They don't sit here and hit 40 shots from the same spot. They don't go through a full bucket here and knock all these divots around. They take a couple balls and they'll hit a couple shots. So I'm out here on this far right side with my sand wedge, shallowing out, listening for the sound of the shot. I'll hit my one shot. I'm pretty happy with that. I'd like to hold the finish a little longer. I'd like to make sure that I'm getting the ball past the hole on a shot like this to see if it can go in. So I'm just going to slightly adjust my setup and stance to try to send that ball 1 foot to the right and just a little bit further. I pulled that a little bit, hit a little bit too far, but that's the right idea. And then I'm going to move on. I'm not going to stay in this spot. I'm going to hit those shots and slide around, always making sure that I'm changing the trajectories with basically every shot, unless I need to perform a shot twice. Like the one that I just hit kind of long and left, I'm going to redo that shot because I want to make sure I can't hit that shot under pressure. I want to make sure that I feel the differences between the two shots. And if you do that and you move yourself around the whole area here, you won't make nearly the deep divots all around like this young person did over here with the shot we just showed you. And you can start to utilize the whole facility. You want to learn shots to get comfortable with what you're going to see on the course. So if you see shots that you see all the time on the course, go ahead and do that. This whole middle area here is almost never used because it doesn't have the shade trees, and it's not right up next to the green where the entryways are. take a couple extra steps. Be good to your body. Get the full steps that you want in and practice shots that you're going to see on the course just a couple of times so that you don't get so good at the one area and forego the thought process that, you know, when you're out on the golf course, you only get to hit one shot. So let's redo that last shot to confirm it, and then we're going to move on from there. So a little bit more forward in my stance. Good to make sure I can make that brush sound the key, and then really going to hold the finish. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking to do. Beautiful. Just a little bit past, had a little bit of a funny bounce, but that's the sound and the feel of how I want you to practice around the short game area to keep the short game area healthy and strong, not taking a ton of divots in the same spot, but also utilizing the keys to being better golfer on the course, hitting the shots the way that you want to, the way that you intend for them to happen as you play golf. Hey, just want to remind you to not forget on getting your free gift below on how to never miss a 5-foot putt. So I hope you enjoyed this version of the Care for the Course video series. As you can see behind me, we have a phenomenal short game facility here at Silverfield Crossings Golf Club, and our maintenance team is very dedicated to be out here every morning preparing it and getting it ready to be an awesome facility for you to get better at your golf game. Let's do our part as we learn more about how to care for the course and the practice facilities as we follow our channel and this specific playlist. Gang, I hope you enjoyed it today. If you liked it, like it. If you like it, subscribe. If you know someone that needs this information and you watch them, send them this YouTube video. It'd be my pleasure. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. I would love to get that done this month as we help each other grow in this great game. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next Thursday at 6 o'clock.